right, Brock.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
To the Planet Hoss.
Planet Hoss, yeah.
No shit.
Currently, we're driving in a snowstorm here, so we figured we'd jump on and give you a quick review of Rogue One.
Oh my God, nerdgasm!
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler! We're not holding back. You're gonna hear spoilers if you're listening.
Yeah, so if you don't want spoilers, then stop listening. Go out and see the goddamn movie.
Han Solo dies.
Let me just say this: Darth Julius Vader.
Who's Julius? Why do they call him Julius?
His middle name, bro. Duh.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yes.
Anakin Julius, that's right.
Yes, so obviously the best part of the movie
was the ending.
Was Vader.
It's like that party you went to when you were younger, and the hot girl dick teased you all night long.
Why would she dick tease you?
And then at the end, Ralph, she showed me the pussy stone. Vader, at the end of the movie,
the
last,
stone.
what?
Vader showed
45 seconds? The last 45 seconds?
45 seconds, yeah.
Vader shows the pussy stone with force.
We finally see Vader, what we have been clamoring for.
Yep.
Was Vader just destroying troops, and
how many would you say he took out in that hallway?
Let's see. So I think in that hallway there was like 7 or 8. So
yeah,
he pulled that down, no problem. He went through the other one. There was another 5 or 6.
Well, you guys should explain what scene this is.
And then when you open
what it's connecting to.
Okay, so at the end scene, the transmission for the plans for the Death Star have been sent out by Jyn Erso, who was a fantastic hero in the movie. I thought she was dead on. She was awesome.
Ralph, she was not Princess Leia.
Who ironically was not Princess Leia at all.
I knew she was.
Not her sister, not her cousin.
Oh, whatever.
And in my opinion, Jyn Erso single-handedly saved the rebellion.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that for a second, because there's a scene, Nate turns to me and said, so wait a minute. So without Jyn Erso, the rebellion never would have...
No, it never would have happened.
So the rebellion gets reports of the new Imperial superweapon, the Death Star. And a lot of them are saying, "Oh, we should fight. No, we should run and hide.
It's actually been used, tested, on Jeddah, the moon Jeddah. Which did you guys think? What fucking planet is it?
Right, if that's the moon, what's Jeddah?
Here's my theory: it's Tatooine's moon. That's my theory. I immediately thought it's got to be Tatooine.
That is interesting.
But anyway,
we'll have to look into that. But so the Death Star fires at, let's just say, 10% power, because they don't use their full power. So the Death Star blows up the city of Jeddah, and this gets back to the rebels. They're like, well, how can we stand against that kind of power? And Jyn Erso is pleading to them. She's like, you guys, what are you going to do? You're going to run? You're going to hide? She's like, you're just going to let the Imperial Empire just walk all over us?
Wasn't that interesting to see that viewpoint of the rebels? Where like cowardly and like,
we're just like, you know what?
Let's just hide out. Yeah, that was interesting to me. Yeah. She was like, you idiots! Yeah. I thought you guys were fighting resistance here.
Quit being bitches.
And the council did not come to a majority decision. So Mon Mothma said, "I'm sorry, we just can't do anything." And so Jyn basically takes it upon herself to get Rogue Squadron, what ends up becoming Rogue Squadron, and going and getting the plans for the Death Star themselves.
So Jyn and a group of about 12 or 15 guys pretty much started what would end up becoming the end of the Empire.
Well, Jyn was frustrated with the Council and wanted to attack and take force upon all this, but didn't know how to go about it. And then what was his name? What was his name? Her little boyfriend in the movie. Cassian came up and he took a bunch of, let's say, rebels of the rebellion and said, fuck it, we're with you, let's do it. You know, we're just gonna fucking hit them until
I thought at the
and then
end he
once
was
they
going to
found
turn.
out that they had gone and just undertaken this on their own, that's when they sent out a whole fucking fleet and said,
all right, let's not get the whole movie away.
oh, yeah.
Right, and wouldn't you say that Jyn Erso gave the rebellion a new hope?
Yeah, I caught that too. The dude goes, that's what I was like. I was kind of going, wait a minute. I was rolling my eyes a little bit.
Yeah, it's like you gave us hope.
Well, when she's championing, like, hey, we have to do something about
Luke
this.
So Luke wasn't the new hope.
So it turns out it wasn't Luke, and it wasn't exactly the Death Star plans, but it was Jyn Erso, who in the beginning wasn't really for the rebellion.
Her
Remember
father.
in the beginning she was kind of like, well, if you don't worry about the rebel flag, who cares?
Yeah.
Or the imperial flag, don't look at it.
It's hard to see it if you don't look up.
What was her dad's
We really
name?
didn't see much of what's his name?
Glenn.
Leia's dad.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was just
Bail Organa.
he was like a
Bail
prop.
Organa.
Yeah, he said a couple of things.
Senator,
He name dropped Obi-Wan.
Opie.
Oh yeah.
That was the last scene we seen.
Yeah, he said
Just when he spoke about Obi-Wan.
He was sent to
Yeah.
Tatooine.
And then if any of you else,
That's right.
Well, we all know what happened to
caught
Elderon.
as Bail Organa walked out the door, he yelled out to Captain Antilles.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So
Wedge.
there's Wedge Antilles' name drop right there.
Yeah.
So Wedge took
Bail Organa.
Bail Organa to Alderaan to his death. Basically.
So now you're going to
Who else but Wedge?
Wedge is like, get in!
Now you're going to have to go home and watch episode 4.
I'm gonna watch
Wedge
it.
is like that guy that, hey, you know, I knew that guy, and I knew that guy too. Wedge is that guy, like, I was like this close to being the center of it all. Really, and everybody's like, yeah, sure, Wedge, you knew Luke Skywalker.
He's that guy.
You grew up on Tatooine with Luke Skywalker.
Was anybody else disappointed at? There was a cameo by R2D2 and C-3PO.
That was good.
But that was
real
it.
brief, very brief.
R2D2 didn't.
Hey, at least we
anything
saw
in the
them
movie.
in it, man.
Yeah, it was enough to make me smile. I really thought they were going to be in it anyways.
I thought that R2 would have had a.
So R2 and
I really thought K2SO was going to meet R2D2 and C-3PO. I figured that would happen.
But you know what? It was good. I thought it was pretty good to see another droid other than R2D2
Oh, he was kick-ass.
fight back.
He was kick-ass.
He was badass, and he played like somewhat of a comedic role.
Yeah, I actually was saying to myself. I was actually saying to myself
he's like,
halfway
I'm
through
gonna
the
join
movie.
you, but he's making me join you.
I've got your back.
I
Until he said I could.
Right.
He said I have to.
I was thinking, I kind of hope he lives.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the movie, I'm like, I hope he's a droid. You don't have to kill him.
You know what's
But
crazy,
and
though?
that's
You
what I
don't-
was thinking,
you don't
too.
see any other of those droids in episode 4, and there's a bunch of them.
You don't see any other U-wings in the universe either.
No.
That's true too. I was just like, those are such badass.
Oh, those are bad.
However, we did see the Y-Wings for the first time, and God knows how fucking long.
That was cool to see the Y-Wings.
Y-Wings, yeah.
I had actually,
I
heard
the space
about
battle.
the space battle was great.
They finally
Okay, so
gave Star Wars a reason to call it Star Wars.
I want to talk about the Vader scene for a moment, and then we'll go into the epic battle at the end. You guys, in your opinion, did we ever see Anakin do anything that badass?
Yeah,
Did we?
No.
I think.
No, the only time he really went on a
Anakin
rage was
before
when he
Darth
killed-
Vader as a Jedi,
The
when
only
he
thing-
was the badass chosen one. I was sitting there watching Vader go, and I was like, I was like, he's at the pinnacle of his power right now.
I think the closest thing to that would have been Anakin toward the end of Episode 3 when he was mowing down
I was just going to say
the
that.
Trade Federation
but-
guys.
but
That's
no
the
one-
closest.
But no one really fought Anakin back.
Well, no one
Now with
fought
Darth
Vader
Vader,
in this one
they were
either.
just trying to fucking light him up.
You're just fire!
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
got to see Vader take a bath.
Yeah, how many?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Do you think that's
it was
Hayden
him.
Christensen?
That was a huge tease.
Yeah.
Huge tease.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, show me his face, and then right before the
Yeah.
drain.
And then all the steam came up, and it was
Yeah.
like, oh, you little bitch.
I'm sitting there nudging
know what
Joe. It's Vader, it's Vader, it's Vader.
You know who I want to find out? Name drop who this person is. The person in the hood
Yeah.
that kneeled before. I'm like, that guy's got to be
I'm
somebody
like, who
important.
is? Yeah, I asked Joe. I was like, who
Snoke.
the fuck is that?
It looked like
Oh
Snoke.
my
It's
god!
It looked like
It's
Snoke.
Snoke.
Oh my
It looked
god!
just like Snoke.
Oh my god, dude, you might have. Did you just pull that out of your asshole right
No,
now?
I knew it right when I saw him. I was like, that's Snoke.
Has anybody else talked about this?
Nope.
No, but he did have
Did look like
similarities.
Snoke.
He
like
had
Snoke.
similarities.
Wreck-It Ralph is calling it right now. You heard it first on the Nerd Eye Council.
So then is he just?
He said he saw.
He said master. So is Snoke the
apprentice?
The apprentice, the secret.
Vader's apprentice.
Oh. No.
No.
So he said
if he's Vader's apprentice,
he was
why
old, though.
why is Palpatine so scared of him?
Maybe he's more stronger than we think.
Palpatine's scared of who?
Of this. Well, it ended up being Snoke because he kept feeling this powerful.
Oh, you're talking about the novel. What Palpatine said in the Aftermath novel, that he felt a powerful presence of evil.
In the unknown region, and then obviously when it comes out, it's Snoke. So, if that character ends up being Snoke, then
It has to be Snoke, because they didn't tie really much of anything in Episode 7.
And they focused on his face for just a split second.
Yeah, it looked just
enough
like
to make you go, "Who is that dude?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. I didn't say who is that dude. I was like, who the fuck is that? I ain't never seen him before.
Did he say Lord or Master?
He said,
I think
Master,
Lord Vader.
Or Lord Vader.
And that was the only part of the movie that bastard was in.
I want to see this movie again. I do.
It was probably Snoke, and then when shit started getting crazy, he went into hiding, or maybe he was on the Death Star when it blew up, and that's why his face is all fucked up.
So I have to touch upon this for a second, because I saw a video of one of the guys I follow, the Nerd Den. Check him out; he's pretty cool. Was talking about in Episode 8, will we see Vader's castle? Because there were what do they call the drawings? They make
artists, art renders, or
the drawings they do at the beginning before they start production. They have these ideas, and they get a person in and draws out the ideas.
Sketch or something.
Yeah, Ralph McQuarrie used to do it for the old trilogy of Star Wars, which Ralph McQuarrie is a brilliant artist.
Yeah, they're called.
I can't think of the name for some reason.
Oh my god, dude! I got a couple of them at home.
But anyways,
it's called the Temple of Vader.
So in this video, this guy is like showing some of those pictures that Disney had. So before 7 was put out, they kicked around the idea of, do we show Vader's castle? And here it is in Rogue One.
See, they
can go back to
Vader's
it. This
castle is what
Mustafar?
When he was taking a bath.
We don't know where that was.
Yeah, we don't know where it did. See, notice how when most of the planets they went to, there was a name.
Yeah.
When they landed on this planet, they didn't show anything.
Because it was a secret. Palpatine doesn't know about it.
No,
it's his secret lair. It's his secret
castle.
castle.
That's where I think Rey's coming from.
And so this is what this guy in this video was theorizing, that's going to be the home base of the Knights of Ren. Because they're like Vader worshippers.
And did anybody else get the sense that Krennic was working for Vader and for Vader alone?
I felt like Krennic thought Vader had his back. So he's
is that why Snoke picked Kylo Ren, maybe? Because he had the bloodline of Vader? And he was like...
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? If he was the apprentice of Darth Vader...
Why not take on his master's grandson?
Yeah.
And that's what
train him what he knew that he learned from Vader.
You can't find Luke, so you go after his grandson.
Yeah. Well, Luke wouldn't have joined anyways.
Luke's too fucking old, too.
Well, no, he would have been the right age if this was... I mean, he just didn't want to... Luke was already past all that shit by that time.
Well...
He already defeated the dark side and shit. And he knew where he was going to be at.
That's really interesting. Now I gotta go...
You gotta look that guy's face.
Yeah, we gotta look up the video.
Just like Snoke.
Surely somebody else has thought of this.
But then again, they have a real, like, B-list actor playing Snoke. Like his movements and stuff, like they did with Ninja Turtles, how they had real actors play the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's actually the same guy. His name's Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
He's the same guy that did Gollum.
Why would they put him in there if they're not going to show him personally? But I don't know, because like with the Ninja Turtles, they really don't have any like main actors. They got like stunt devils playing them.
Okay, well, I got something though, like a what if, I guess you could say. So what if Luke did join Vader, right? And so Luke and Snoke, if he was a secret apprentice, so Vader would have two bitches basically up against the Emperor. That'd be kind of cool. Should think about it. I don't know, overpower him, I guess.
The Emperor? I mean, if he...
Because they were planning on turning on the Emperor. I thought that was the original plan.
We didn't see the Emperor in
Vader
Rogue One.
No Emperor.
I didn't think we would.
Well, there was no Emperor in this one. I know there
Vader
was no
just
Emperor,
pussied out at the end with Luke because of his son, and he's seen his son dying, and his soft spot hit him, and then saved his son.
So Donnie Yen's character in this movie is
Fantastic.
absolute badass.
Mm-hmm. That's what I just wanted to touch upon. So we hadn't talked about my favorite character, the Asian sensation.
Yeah, he was my favorite character.
Oh, my God.
I like the heavy guy.
Plays the blind monk.
Ah,
That is a Force follower, but not a Jedi.
The Force is with him. He's one with the Force.
He's one with the
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force.
His catchphrase in this,
I want that on a shirt.
in this movie, and he takes on legions of stormtroopers like it's nothing.
Blind,
mind you, blind,
and
with his fucking bowcaster and
fucking
cane.
TIE fighter.
Yeah.
blindly.
What's
Shoots
his-
over his
yeah.
back.
Shoots over his back
Bam!
with his
Did you see when he took that
Blast.
shot? He looked away when he took that shot too.
Yeah.
Why? And
you know what? I
probably
think,
the most the funniest scene with him, I think, is when they
The
fucking
mask.
put the hood over his head.
so spoilers.
Really? I'm blind.
The Rogue One characters get captured by Saw Gerrera's guys, and they throw a bag over their heads to take them to Saw's secret hideout, and they throw a bag over the blind guy's head, and he's like, "Really? I'm blind." Yeah, he was pretty comical for a monk character.
And I'm sticking with that theory that he may have been a Padawan that had never been chosen
He's older.
by a Jedi to be trained.
Slow down.
I am going with that theory.
There,
So this is 19 years, or how many years before 3? Like what was it?
This is 19 years after 3.
Okay.
In episode 3, Luke and Leia are born. This is literally the same year that Luke Skywalker gets his whole life altered
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and leaves Tatooine
That little boy playing
to
with
become
his toys.
right the Master Jedi.
Yeah, I think they nailed this one pretty good. This is definitely
It wasn't
It's up
slow at all.
No, I mean, it was pretty steady, and it was really action packed.
I don't think this one came anywhere close to Empire Strikes Back. Everybody's like, oh.
I think the only reason why they say it reminds them is because they got the AT-ATs and the walkers and all that shit.
Well, it may not be my favorite movie, but there seems to be a lot of people that like Empire. And I'm not hating.
Yeah.
I do believe, we're kind of spoiled in the sense that we grew up. I kind of remember my cousins went and saw Empire Strikes Back. They were a couple of years older than me, and they saw it at the movie theater. And I remember them telling me back in the day, "You won't believe this, Darth Vader." And I remember not believing it at first. Like my cousins were talking shit. Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's dad. I'm like, what? Shut up. But we don't really get the shock value of what that was. And I think
Because we have internet now.
right. Well, I think a lot of people that love Empire, it goes back to that moment.
I guess, yeah. But
Because the end is pretty kick-ass, where you see Han Solo get frozen in carbonite, the whole "I love you, I know." Boba Fett is there, all the other bounty
It
hunters.
was
Vader
good.
revealing to Luke that it's his father.
I mean, that was a good one, but
I think for me, the real problem with Empire, without straying from Rogue One too much, but the real problem for me is the training scene where it gets slow with
it was
Yoda.
overplayed for me. That's the only movie I really had.
Yeah, but see, I can watch A New Hope over and over again,
I can watch
and
it
it
now.
just, I don't get bored of it.
Yeah. All right.
What do you guys think of the D-Box seats?
D-box seats were cool.
D-box seats were
It was
cool.
like a massage chair. I like
I want to
it.
go see that in Fast and Furious.
I thought they were very cool. I don't know if they're $20 cool.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I could just had a kid sitting behind me kicking my seat. It would have been the same effect, but
Well, the chair moved, though.
yeah.
It swiveled left to
I think the
right.
movie would have been just as good if we were just sitting in regular seats.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it would've been-
They
but
were a
it
little
was
high
It
up,
was
but-
a nice effect
I think
during the AT-ACT scene,
the space
where
battle,
their feet are slamming down on the ground and your chairs are shaking. You're like, oh shit, yeah.
Or speed it up when they collided into each other.
Right.
The two Star Destroyers.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. The chairs were cool when we were in the space battle and we were literally like flying through space.
Yeah.
The chairs moving.
That'd be cool.
And there is no crawl.
There is no crawl.
There was no crawl.
There was, thank God. Exactly like I said the other podcast, they did put in a galaxy a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
I
And
thought
then
they started in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they showed a planet that had rings around it, like Saturn. What
really thought
what
that.
planet was that?
That
That was the homeworld of.
That was Saturn.
They
Wouldn't
did
that have
say
been
it.
Alderaan?
No, it was the homeworld of Jyn Erso, though. Or at least where they were hiding. But of all the planets we've seen in Star Wars, I've never seen rings.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know that last planet that they were on, the beach scene when they were in the woods, and that little garage, whatever, reminded me a lot of Return of the Jedi. When
Yeah, I did kind of.
I was like, well, maybe that's some kind of what was it? The Ewoks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
I thought it was kind of funny because in this movie we even heard casual talk among the stormtroopers. I caught on to that. You never hear them actually talking to one another, just like all casual.
Yeah,
And
that one scene they're walking and talking.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear that rumor?
Yeah.
They're finally getting rid of the blah blah blah, like some vehicle.
The ATVs
and then
or
boom,
some
they're
shit
dead.
like that. They're like, yeah, it's about time.
I was
And
not
then
impressed
explosions.
with the Death Troopers or Dark Troopers or whatever they were.
They were kind of the same
They were
armor and stuff,
Yeah.
just different
They
colors.
weren't that different than. They were maybe a little more accurate than Stormtroopers, but other than that,
it was their guns that were different. That's
Yeah.
all it was.
Yeah.
They had rifles.
They were more like rifles than.
that was kind of
pistols.
disappointing.
They were there
Like,
for
I
show.
were-
Yeah, they were just. They were more like.
And they all died
moving
at the
prop.
end. That's probably why they don't have them in.
Oh, I knew they were gonna
6.
die.
They all
They
died.
had to
They
die.
had to, yeah.
I thought the guy that I'll complain about this a little bit. I thought the guy that played Krennic was underused. He was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Krennic.
Yeah.
I thought he was a badass
You
bad
know who
guy.
he reminds me of? He reminds me of
Good
that guy
actor.
from Inglourious Bastards. Remember when Inglourious Bastards? You guys ever see that movie with Brad Pitt? Remember at the beginning of that movie, that Nazi guy came up and looking for those Jews that he was hiding. Remember the real asshole guy?
All the Jews were hiding in the fucking under the floorboard.
Yeah,
and he
right.
came in.
that's
Yeah.
what it was like. It was like that scene from Inglourious Bastards when
Yeah.
he came in and was looking for. And then he was like the
Yeah.
main guy to
Yeah,
Hitler.
that guy
Like this guy was
played-
like the main guy to Vader.
This
I
Krennic guy
recognized
played a
him.
real asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
he was just like that.
Dude, that guy was
shifty,
like Qui-Gon.
shifty.
dude, a
Like you
little
couldn't
bit.
trust the guy at
dad.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he was so good they should have used more of him. But okay, so Carrie Fisher is in the movie.
Well,
Spoilers.
They didn't use her body of what it looks like now.
And they went the route of Civil War, and they somehow CGI. It's a
CGI.
Disney is the devil. Disney practices black magic.
No.
This is the only way that they can fucking pull off a film so brilliantly.
I think it was just perfect.
Dude, so there's also, we're debating about this still. I say, I'm pretty sure that Grand Moff Tarkin was in it, or actually Governor Tarkin.
Mm-hmm.
Governor Tarkin. He was in it, and I swear the guy's dead. I swear it was all CGI.
Yeah,
But-
it looked, you could tell by some of the
Just
way it
a
moved. His
little
looked
body looked a
CGI.
little-
No, he was CGI because he died. Because remember in episode 3, he was a lot younger, and he was CGI. You could tell in episode 3 because the effects were shitty at the time. But
Yeah.
in
But
episode
thanks to
3,
Civil War, I think they hit the nail on the head.
and they were both Disney movies, so
True that. Good connection there. So Disney's got, it's Lucasfilm. They're probably using the
Industrial
same
Light and Magic.
Industrial Light and Magic.
well, you could do that.
You can talk shit all you want about George Lucas, but as far as a techie, that guy's brilliant. He's the nerd of all nerds.
But he didn't write Rogue One, though, did he?
No, I'm
this
just saying.
was- yeah.
No, but he started the company Industrial Light and Magic,
Oh yeah, that yeah.
which is pulling off spectacular crap nowadays.
I think it was just. I think it was
Even
probably
that movie was just beautiful. I mean, it was a really good movie, and so we're kind of like underplaying how gorgeous it looked. I mean,
it was
really
all the planets, the space battles.
It was dark, and then it was bright, and then it was dark. But the only lightsaber you'll see is Vader's.
That planet where they are in the rain.
Yeah.
And the X-wings with their like headlights on.
Yeah.
That was beautiful,
pretty
man.
damn good
Gorgeous.
scene.
With the waterfall.
Yeah.
Now, we
whenever you boys want to go back, I'm ready to go see it again.
We did see the Monkey Man.
Yeah.
What caught me off guard was the Turtle Man.
For a real brief moment. The turtle guy, the little short guy.
They're all falling back.
To me, he looked a little like Jeff Wright. So I don't know. I'm just saying. An older version, 20 years later, if he makes it that long.
And that's probably what he was yelling, too, when he started screaming. He's like, "You're doing it wrong!"
He's like, "What's Nate
He's like, "Where's Nate?
What's
Nate doing right now? Why do I gotta get off my lunch?"
This movie probably is top 5 out of all the movies.
All
out of
the
8 movies, this is top 5.
Oh my gosh, they've already done 8 Star Wars movies. That's
7. This will be number 8. Yeah.
And then next year
next year will be episode 8.
Yep.
Are they doing a Boba Fett movie?
I'd say this was probably my top 3.
I'm gonna say it's top 3 for me too. And I'm gonna tell you what, the Vader scene nailed it.
See, I can't say it's top 3 because I saw. I don't know. Every time a new one comes out, it's always going to be a top 3 because it's fresh.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like getting a new car. This is my favorite car. Then you get a new car. This is the best car I ever had. It's like,
I don't know. When The Force Awakens came out, I was just kind of like,
All it was a reunion. That's
I loved The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens was good.
I thought it was good. I'm kind of like thinking like how emotionally how that Vader scene affected me. Holy shit.
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like, is there a scene anywhere in Star Wars where a Jedi takes out his lightsaber and just mauls down people and you're like, yes!
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
I fiddled a little bit.
The only time I seen that was with Anakin when he did go destroy those toad-looking guys and when he... Well, they didn't even show him killing the Padawan, but...
And isn't that weird? Like,
I don't know. It was like a 30-year-old punching a 5-year-old in the face over and over.
Put this in perspective for a moment. Like, isn't it weird when you're referencing, like, that Anakin in Episode 3 being a badass? And at that time, I was like, no... Don't do it, dude, don't.
You know it's gonna happen.
And now he's Vader, and I'm like, kill them all! Brutally!
It was still badass seeing Anakin turn to Vader.
It was cool, but
I mean, they had a march into the Jedi Temple with all those stormtroopers, the 501st in the back. That was pretty cool. The yellow eyes going.
What were you gonna say?
They had to do this because, like, with the Yoda scene.
You
know, I mean...
Well, dude, that scene made the Yoda scene look stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got these 2 main figures, and you don't know who they are in the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, and you don't know really much about them, and then the prequels kind of helped out their character and made them look more of a badass.
Fleshed out their characters a little bit.
Because before the prequels, 1, 2, and 3, Yoda was just some crazy-ass old puppet sleeping under a rock.
Some old hermit.
And then you see him in episode 3 kicking the Emperor's ass. The Emperor's
going
ass.
toe-to-toe with the Emperor.
Yeah, and that's what they needed to do with Vader in this movie, and I think that's what they did, was finally show off his real power.
You know what I sensed when I was watching that scene? Here's a man that's gone 19 years suffering.
Yep.
And he's just pissed.
Yeah.
Just pissed. And like there was that pause when he walks into the room, and at that, I'm like, and when he's breathing, and I'm like, okay, it's Vader. And then he hasn't ignited his lightsaber yet, and I'm thinking, he's like pissed. Right now, what's going on in his head is, I'm going to destroy them. And all these guys are like, getting their guns, like, get him! And then just unleashes on them.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering if this was the scene that they were debating about at the studio. Like, should we keep this in? Should we not?
Probably.
You know what I
thought? This was the scene that they decided to keep it in, and bravo for them, because that to me made the fucking movie.
Who would have ever thought that we would...
we never knew what happened behind those closed doors.
That Disney would make... I don't know, this movie is like... It was a gritty... brutal movie at times. for a Star Wars film. I don't know. It was different.
I wanted to see a choke scene where Vader's choking someone out, and then right before they die, they're like,
So we
fucked Padme.
So we do see him. We do see him force choke someone, and he's not using his hands. And I'm like, see, you don't need you.
Yeah, he did.
And then he turns around.
He turns and he's
he's
doing
casually got the fingers like,
In a pinch, like,
I got you.
Yeah.
We're like, you asshole.
Krennic's grabbing his nuts like, my dick. So yeah, it was great.
Did you notice when they were on, what was the first planet there? Fuck, I can't. I'm trying to remember these planets.
They were bouncing all
They
over.
were in the beginning.
Yeah, no, the one with that black dude with the afro dude, that planet. You remember? He's like, go without me. Jedi. All right, there was one of the guards that had the Mandalore helmet. If you looked really close, it was the same color scheme as Boba Fett's. It wasn't Boba Fett, but I'm just saying it had the same color.
It was a Mandalorian helmet.
Right.
It looked fucking cool though.
Right on.
All right, that's a wrap, I guess. Until we go back and see it again.
Right, so ratings.
Full on foresgasm.
Out of 10, I give it about a 7.
I'm gonna
7.
Yeah, 7.5. Just because, I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna watch a Star Wars movie, you gotta have lightsabers. One lightsaber, 7.5. But
I understand that. I respect that. I think it was a better movie than that, but I do respect that because the lightsabers are such a big part.
Iconic.
Yeah, the Jedi in themselves, we didn't see one single Jedi
Besides
Vader. A pissed off.
And the Asian sensation.
Jedi.
I'm sticking by the fact that he's a goddamn Jedi. I don't care if I don't give a fuck if he wasn't classified as a damn Jedi. To me, he was a Jedi.
I'm giving it a solid 9.
I'm giving it a 9.
I'm giving it a 9. I was going to say 8.5, but damn, man. Maybe if this movie ends without the Vader scene, I'm like 8, I guess.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8.
The Vader scene really made up the movie.
Gave it
if they ended it with them getting nuked
considering you get... Alright, spoilers, people. Considering you get maybe 3 minutes of Vader. Tops.
Throughout
the whole movie. If you would have told me before this, you're only going to see Vader for 3 minutes, my disappointment level would have been huge.
Mm-hmm.
Really? But man,
we saw him for
man,
what? He was in there.
I really thought they were.
It was really brief.
They were really brief times, but he was in there a few times.
The payoff is worth the wait.
Mm-hmm. I really thought they were going to end it with Cassidy or whatever the hell his name is with Jen hugging at the beach. I thought they were going to end it there. You know how they always end it with like a couple. Yeah. And they're just going to end there, but no, Vader came back.
They had the Titanic song playing in the background.
Just think, Force Awakens was an interracial couple getting chased down by a guy with a burning cross.
And we'll end on that note.
All right. Until next time.
All right. So we will see you guys next week with a topic that we don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll come up with in the middle of the week.
Jeremy will probably still be talking about Rogue One.
Yeah, we'll probably still be talking about Star Wars in one way, shape, or form. So until next week, guys, peace out. Happy holidays.
Same bat channel, same bat time.